All right, so we're getting into the summertime. I absolutely love it. This is my favorite time of the year. I certainly love the sun. I love the summer activities, going to the beach, hanging out by the water. I'm directly across from Milwaukee. Beautiful sandy beaches. That's what I do. I want you guys to leave your comments in the comment section. Curious what everybody does in the summer where you live. Personally, you can't beat the water or the beach for me. I absolutely love that. Leave your comments. Anyways, okay, so now that OTAs are over, we have the training camp to look forward to, but that's going to take some time. Matt LaFleur leaves everybody kind of with a little bit of a motivational speech to kind of look at the man in the mirror, which is themselves. And he says, you've got to continue to work. Just because that we're done now with OTAs, it goes on to the next phase, and you've got like 40 days roughly before you start training camp. You can't take the foot off the gas for a second in this league, because if you do, people are going to bypass you. We've got to keep pushing. That's what he's telling his athletes. Ultimately, it's up to each individual to put in the work to come back in a better place. Then collectively, hopefully it all adds up. Couldn't agree with Matt saying that more. Speaking of somebody, when you talk about individuals not taking their foot off the gas, and each individual is accountable for what they do with that 40 days, how they get better, how they improve as an athlete. And one guy in particular that I want to showcase in this video, which is Green Bay Packer stud that everyone else in the league overlooked, and the Packers were able to capitalize on signing him, and I think that he's going to have a very fruitful rejuvenation of his career, considering what he did in his collegiate time and didn't really translate into the NFL. High draft pick. We're talking about Isaiah Simmons. I've talked about him a couple of times, but I don't want to gloss over just how good this dude could potentially be as a Green Bay Packer. Um, Isaiah Simmons said that I think really what I ran into most of my career is somebody wants me to do everything, meaning talking about the Arizona Cardinals and then the New York Giants, as opposed to letting me get really good at one thing first. I fully believe in Half's plan. He's letting me just lock in and learn a small portion first before I even think about expanding into anything else. That's something that I really appreciate about him, about his style, because I've never really had the opportunity that just hone in on one position, and being able to lock in on one thing and do that 111 every day. That's huge for me. And I just want to applaud the Green Bay Packer organization for a moment. Brian Gutekunst is a fantastic general manager and leader. We talked about that in yesterday's video, just about him. PFF putting out a grade of general managers out there. Brian Gutekunst is one of the top. I think they put him number 4 overall of general managers out there. And I know there's Packer fans that disagree with that, given his lack of maybe wanting to go out and spend a ton of money on free agents, all of that. But he's looking for the better of the organization. And then you get guys like Isaiah Simmons that are those diamonds in the rough, who is an absolute stud of an athlete coming out of college into the pros, was a high draft pick. The Packers are able to capitalize on the inefficiency of how organizations are run, mainly the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants, that just are not able to hone in and do things the way that they should be done. You take a look at what the Packers did with drafting Aaron Rodgers and letting him, develop under one of the greats in Brett Favre. And then you draft Jordan Love and letting him develop and learn under one of the greats in Aaron Rodgers. And now you're seeing the fruit of the labor and what they did and the decisions that they make. I think it's absolutely fantastic, the decisions that this organization makes. As a fan, you know that you're going to have a lot of great years of football. And I know people have left comments that, man, it's just the Packers, they're always going to be good but never great enough. But I do disagree more with the comments that some of you have made on here, namely about the Packer organization and about Brian Gutekunst as a general manager and Matt LaFleur as a head coach, all of that type of stuff. Isaiah Simmons goes on to say that, honestly, I feel like this is the most comfortable that he's been in a system that he's been in the league. I just feel like Half's defense fits me better. I like the vision, the creativity, and I need to be with a guy who is creative. Man, that's great news too, because Matt LaFleur hired Jeff Halfley. We knew that we needed to make a change in a big way there at our defensive coordinator. And in having a guy that's a Swiss Army knife like an Isaiah Simmons, um, that can play multiple positions, and we've talked about it a lot, being a jack of all trades but a master of none. And Isaiah Simmons certainly is being given the opportunity in Green Bay, and he sees that this organization is run differently. And he said when he interviewed with the Packers, that's what helped him make his decision. Maybe he got offered a little bit more money somewhere else, but the fact that the Packers were like, "Hey, listen, we know that you're super talented. We know that you're a very gifted athlete, but we want to hone in on a particular position." And for the Green Bay Packers, it's going to be linebacker. And this is a guy that can go sideline to sideline. And paired with Edrin Cooper, paired with Quay Walker, the Green Bay Packers could be doing incredible damage defensively to some offenses out there. They could be putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, giving a lot of different disguises out there. I think this is going to be a huge pickup for the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers coaching staff have said, a lot of great things about Isaiah Simmons and just what this dude is capable of doing. And the fact that Jeff Halfley recognizes the talent that he's got here, and he's wanting to work with developing him, not overwhelming him with learning multiple facets, multiple positions, but honing in at the linebacker position and then branching out from there once he's comfortable, once he knows the system, all of that stuff. But I think the Packers are going to find themselves a diamond in the rough when it comes to Isaiah Simmons, just the gifted athleticism of this dude. You can't coach athleticism. You either have it or you don't. And Isaiah Simmons is one of those freak athletes that has a crazy talented, freakishly athletic body. And given the right coaches around him that are able to build around his talents and his abilities, like a Jeff Halfley, I'm super excited. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be an incredibly it's going to be an amazing training camp. It's going to be super competitive. There's going to be guys pushing each other out there. And what better guy to learn under, if you're Isaiah Simmons, than Jeff Halfley and his defensive schemes? And you've got Edrin Cooper, a guy who's already incredibly gifted and talented, and then Quay Walker. This is going to be an amazing signing. I want you guys to leave your comments about the summer thing. I want to know what you guys do in the summer, where you live. And as always, go Pack Go.